looking at that hand again when the money went in. Collinson was bluffing, trying to represent the ace. Post was not to believe. And the queen or jack did not come on the turn of river, so a pair of nines takes the money down. Big blind on Tony G for the 400. Now with 5 players left, those blinds will start coming around a bit faster. They're forced bets to get the action going. And 600 pounds around will catch your attention. Chip leader Renee Mordson not taking on the field with the 9 deuce Montana Banana.
Well, just heads up here with Tony G. He's got the chips, and he's got half a hand here with the 10 jack. He's going to put the pressure on the short chip man, Mr. Tony G.
Yeah, Post looks a little bit like a lamb in sheep's clothing, but not scared of the tongue-tied Tony G. Raising it up.
Total.
Well, this could be enough for Tony G to draw a line in the sand.
Well, the blonde's 200, 800 total. 800 total. Is that right? Is that right?
6,000. Yeah, so he needs to put in, he said 600, but he has to put in
600. Yeah, 200 more. 200, 400. 200 more.
One thing about Tony G, he takes his time, Gary, tries to get a read off the other players.
And yeah, he's usually engaging them in enough conversation that he can possibly pick up some sort of a tell on what the opponent's got, how much he likes his hand, how much he doesn't. Don't think he's picked up too much off Kevin so far.
Raise all in.
Well, he picked up just enough, and if Kevin Post calls, he'll be dominated. Tony G making the re-raise, striking like a cougar here.
2,000 more.
Cool.
Well, he's raced it up 2,000. It's a call from Kevin. He's hoping both his cards are live, but he's going to be disappointed to find out his 10 is in Tony G's hand, but Tony's sitting with a better kicker. He's got the king.
I mean, Gary, this is just a situation where Kevin Post would be delighted to have an opportunity to knock Tony G out. But unless a jack hits this board, Tony G will be terrifying from Kevin's left. Tony all in,
7,
and the king plays right now.
3.
Yeah, the king's still good.
You got the backdoor flush.
There's 3 jacks in the deck. That will send the Australian mouth of the South scrambling for air.
Well, that 3 does mean a 7 would be a split pot.
Right you are.
Right, we don't want a 7.
Kevin Post just praying for the hook. And here's the river.
It's an 8, and that is a good card for Tony G. He's doubled up, and he's right back in the action now.
With that guy, that was such a...
Jesse May here from the smoky underground of East London with poker pro Gary Jones. And Gary, this game has tightened around the edges.
It certainly has, and Tony G is the only one that seems to be taking it by the scruff of the neck. He's pulled himself back from 3,000 up to 9,300, and he is right back in it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Lou Hussein, the short stack on about 8,600 pounds, if he just sits out for 5 rounds, he'll be nearly broke.
Yeah, he can't afford to do that. He's going to have to open up his game sometime soon, start raising with some questionable hands like some of the rest of them are.
Yeah, this pressure cooker set to whirlybird now, and it'll be 400 pounds on Kevin. Oh, that's a nice card. And
yeah, well, they're not questionable. You can play these. And he's just raised the last one.
They say good things come in bunches.
Do something.
I will.
I'm glad. I might fall asleep here.
Tony's just sticking the verbal in.
It's past. It's the right thing to do.
You got that champagne to get you awake.
Certainly do.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Trying to set a trap here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
looks like he's trying to mix it up a little, lay a little trap with the ace-king.
Will anybody be
I'm only playing good hands today, you know, I promise that.
undignified here? Tony G not
play good
fooled.
today. Play only the winners.
He's mucked a hand and reached for the champagne. I'm surprised he gets a chance to gulp it down, the amount he keeps his mouth open.
Created some action.
Piers Wyman playing the sawmill, and if a king pops on
There's
the
that
board,
champagne that I
it
recommend.
could put him into a bit of trouble.
Well,
No
this
brand
flop's going to be
champagne.
seen three-handed. Plenty of chances for some people to get into some trouble in this pot. Let's see if Kelly can bring something for us.
Action on Piers Wyman. But here, the worst hand before the flop is the best hand now. Lou Hussein hitting the 8-ball.
It's only the middle pair. It's going to be a question of how much he likes it if someone decides to have a pop, and this man is favourite.
You can see Kevin Post. He's saying, why didn't I raise before the flop? Needing an ace or a king now. Turn
Yeah,
card.
I think he was laying the trap for Tony G, and as soon as Tony G passed, he regretted it.
This could make Lou happy.
Gotta fancy his hand right now.
1200.
Not shy is this East Londoner. And peeling that bill, that wrapper carefully off the bills and counting out 1,200 quid. Is Lou saying that'll take it, huh?
I'd have thought so, unless Kevin decides to be creative with his ace-king. He's just going to look back. They are very pretty, but right now, quite a bit behind.
So hard to fold that ace-king.
He was born an anchor. He was meant to hold the boats down, but decided to become a poker player.
Tony not making it any easier on Kevin, trying to think with a clear head here.
Pass.
We've got to make a rule for you, like you got 15 seconds of the clock kicking in.
The 1,200-pound
already
bet
set.
from Lou Hussein takes the money,
I know.
and that keeps him well in touch.
Enjoy the game.
Moves him up to third position.
Start throwing like the famous boxer we had.
You throw that short stack in.
You listen up.
Blinds coming out. There's something about those 50-pound notes that are mighty attractive. Pocket full of them in every player's possession.
And someone will be leaving with a duffel bag full of them. Reminds me of the story of Julian Gardner.
Yeah, 1.1 million in cash down in Binions he won a couple of years ago as a 24-year-old lad. But did you see Tony G folding the ace-8 early? What was that about?
18.
Well, he's definitely got a game plan. I just wish he'd tell us what it is.
But
16. Oh,
look at this, though.
16.
Lou Hussein has just announced 1,800 pounds.
Well, he seems to have found his voice, because he doesn't have much in the way of cards.
No, he hasn't stuck the money in the pot yet. But if this pot gets played, he's going to be quivering like a
Watch that, it's cool.
corkscrew of arrows. Kevin Post has got him well out-duped.
Well, he's decided to call. This is going to be a mighty big pot.
Oh, that's not what Lou wanted to see. He's sitting there on 4 high, and that is not a happy state of affairs when there's 3,900 pounds in the pot. Lou looks like a monkey without his banana. Let's see the flop.
Well, he's going to like that flop. Look at that. I'm willing to bet he checks this one. He's going to have to lay a trap.
You talk about manna from heaven. Well,
1%. The chances of catching a king-king or 10-10. Well, he's reaching for a chips, but I'm willing to bet he's not going to lose Lou.
yeah, Post is going to have to
1,200.
mail home for more money if he stays in this pot. He's stuck in a wad of dough, and look at Lou. He's just, what's he thinking to himself, Gary?
How on earth am I going to play this one? That cash that Kevin's just stuck in the pot. Like a dream. He probably goes home and dreams about pots like this.
Oh, there's 1,200 pounds is the bet.
Cool.
How am I going to get any more? He's decided to call.
I mean, that's the right thing to do here, Gary,
Of course it is. If a king or 10 comes down now, Kevin is going to throw the rest of his cash in the middle. And Lou will be sitting pretty. It's just getting funnier and funnier here. He's got 3s full of 4s, 4s full of 3s. Any card he plays, he makes a full house.
Yeah,
And Kevin Post is still reaching for his money.
2 full houses, and Kevin Post is strangled like
Two
an
houses.
octopus. Hussein has got 8 tentacles around this board. interestingly enough,